Hello, we are here today for the fifth quarter to talk about the Steelers' 16-14 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Win is a win is a win, George.
Much needed win. It would have been very bad for them if they had gone 1-3. There's no question about it.
Yes.
They did what they had to do. There were some good things. It was great to see Ben Roethlisberger lead a drive, a significant drive, and he even talked to the media about that after the game. He was aware that it had been almost a year since he had led a drive like that.
And, it was another game in which the Steelers gave up a 10-point lead. The defense gave up a 10-point lead. Most of it in the fourth quarter. Gave up a drive to put the Eagles ahead of the Steelers in the fourth quarter. Yet the Steeler offense behind Ben Roethlisberger came back and got Sean Sweezum in range for a game-winning field goal, 34-yarder, I believe.
Yes, and as bad as people might want to look at the Steeler defense, they only gave up 56 yards rushing to LaShawn McCoy, who is a very, very good back, and they did some good things, and they were playing most of the game without Lamar Woodley and Troy Polamalu.
Right. And as Ryan Clark was quick to point out, we only gave up 14 points.
Yeah.
You give up 14 points in an NFL game, you're going to win more than
you usually should win.
Yes.
But the injury to Polamalu was significant in the first quarter, and he was not hit on the play. He was running after somebody. And came up lame on the sideline again with the calf problem, and it looks like it may be a while for him.
Yeah, I think so. Aggravated the calf injury, and you were, as you just alluded to, the more he plays on a strained calf, it may develop into a torn calf.
Yeah, which is significant. But he's definitely going to be out for the next ball game, and who knows after that. The news on Woodley, whether a hamstring injury can have any good news, is that they didn't think it was that significant. But this is the same injury that kept him out of 6 games last year. And as I have pointed out time and time again to you, I have been worried about Woodley.
Yes, right. And a hamstring injury to one player is totally different than it is to another player. Lamar Woodley showed last year he maybe his hamstrings do not heal as quickly as others. Who knows? But he, as you mentioned, missed 6 games last year, and it is the same hamstring in the same leg, correct?
Correct. And let's point out some of the positives.
Yes. Led by number 34.
34 and Harrison.
Yes, James Harrison came back and played pretty much every down from what I could gather.
He did play all 56 snaps against the Eagles, which they didn't expect him to be able to do. His presence was felt in many quarters on the field. But Mendenhall certainly gave them a shot in the arm, a much-needed shot in the arm.
Yes, running game. I mean, it was the most productive day. Even though he didn't go over 100 yards, he did have the one touchdown. I think it was 81 yards. He started off, they kind of worked him in slowly at the beginning of the game, which was different than what they did with James Harrison. He got a few snaps early, and really until his touchdown run that looked like a screen pass, but ended up being a lateral.
They called it a lateral, 13 yards.
Yes. Until that point, he was in single digits rushing.
Well,
on very few attempts.
Let's be honest about his totals could have been even better. There was a 31-yard running play that was called back because of a penalty on Mike Wallace, the way he lined up on the line of scrimmage. So.
But hey, it was far from perfect. But the Steelers and Coach Mike Tomlin will take it. That's for sure. The passing game really did not seem to be in sync the whole game. To me.
I thought Mike Wallace had a very so-so game.
Right.
He took some penalties. He had some drops. Antonio Brown had a drop touchdown pass. It was not in sync. They did what they had to do at the end.
And at the end, Ben Roethlisberger 4 for 5 for 50 yards on the game-winning drive. As we mentioned, 16-14 Steelers win over the Eagles.
And 2-2 is a lot better than 1-3.
1-3, that's for sure. Moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, that'll wrap up this edition of the fifth quarter. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
At theherald-standard.com, our mission is to provide news, information, and services to enable our communities to prosper. Every day, we strive to achieve this goal through 3 dynamic products. Wake up each morning to a copy of the Herald-Standard.com newspaper delivered to your home. Enjoy the e-edition, an exact replica of our print product on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Or secure unlimited access to our full-coverage digital news site online at Herald-Standard.com. One local news leader, 3 great options.